anymore. Anywhere it's populated, they really don't want fire burning through woods. So dead trees are left to remain, and they kind of choke out the system. So I'll be showing you the tree that I'm going to cut down. I was going to cut down this one here because it was dying. However, I'm going to wait until spring to see if it bounces back or not. This one, however, is just dead. As you can see, it already is leaning in a certain direction. I'm going to try and have it cut to where it falls in that direction. It's not tall enough to hurt my house. I have an axe. I am not going to be using an axe today. Normally I would say have more protective gear than just glasses and gloves, but we're just going to roll with it. So, I had started making a video already, but forgot that I hadn't fueled up my chainsaw since the last time I used it, so I'm going to have to do that now. Now that that's all should be ready to go. When you want to cut, you want to start on the side that you want the tree to fall on, and you make the angled cut first at about a 45-degree angle, and then you come in at the bottom at a straight angle, and you want to cut about half to 2/3 the way through the tree. That's so it falls in that direction only. There's a lot of background noise today. Usually no one drives through here. Anyways, so after that first initial 2 cuts, and you have that wedge shaken out, you come to the back side, and you just start slicing until it falls in the direction you want it to. Okay, so it appears this tree is actually completely hollow all the way through, which makes things a little trickier, I found, because you have less surface area for the tree to actually catch and fall. So, this is why you never want to do this alone. Don't do this alone, even though I am. Anyways, so as you can see, this cut is about half to 3/4 the way through at the angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, probably clean it up a little bit more, and then come in from the back side. Realistically speaking, I could probably push the tree over, but I want to do this for educational purposes. you want to make sure nothing's in that area. You also want to be able to move quickly, so you kind of want to have everything, at least the big stuff, clear, know your surroundings, in case it doesn't fall the direction you want it to. The last tree I cut down got hit by a huge gust of wind and almost took out my fence, so that's when I stopped cutting down the trees that day. But as you can see, this tree's pretty hollow. Now I'm going to drag this over and we're going to start cutting up some firewood. Now we have our log, one of the ones that was cut down previously, out. I have the other log right here, and if I had more time and money, I'd probably actually try to do something cool with it, because this hollow hardwood is actually pretty neat when you clean it up. But I think I'm just going to go for burning it. Now I had to take off the top end of this tree because it was so entwined with what appeared to be poison ivy or poison sumac or something like that. I didn't want to take the risk of burning it at all, getting those oils into the air in my house and having a really bad time, because I learned that lesson while cutting up trees on a hurricane relief effort, that if you just cut straight through those vines and your sweat glands are open, the sawdust from the actual vines will get into your skin, and it makes for a really nasty rash. So always wear long sleeves whenever you think you'll be cutting anything that might be poison ivy or something like that. Really, you should be wearing long sleeves regardless, but not too many people actually do, just because it gets hot. Alright, so I have an area under here, about a good foot and a half, so I don't cut through and hit the ground. That'll dull up your blade really quick and could send some debris and things flying. Now, when it's suspended like this with pressure under each side, essentially like a bridging a gap, you don't want to cut from the top because the weight will pinch the blade. So what you do is you come from the bottom, and I'll show you that now. As you can see, it cut through pretty easily, pretty much straight. I might actually save some of this wood to make a fence out of, if it's, well, I don't know, it looks like it's pretty eaten up. But, so the other way that you might find something that you need to cut is hanging. So, like, it's supported here, and it's hanging off this way. Now, if with it being just this small amount, you wouldn't have an issue cutting it from the top or the bottom, really. However, the same kind of process is involved with if you cut it from, you have to cut it, if you cut it from the bottom, all the weight's going to slant down, and it's going to pinch your blade again. So from something like this, you have to cut it from the top. And I think I got some logs out here I can set up, show you how it's done. As you can see, it just kind of fell right off instead of, getting caught or pinching or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up the rest of this wood, and just show you how to split it. Splitting is not terribly difficult as long as you have the right tools. I have kind of the right tools for it, for small stuff, but I'll show you how I'll do that later after I get it all chopped up. Cutting up some of the stuff, and look at this cool little guy. I don't know if it's gonna go in the video or not, but thought that'd do a little neat. Alright, so the biggest thing you want to remember when you're chopping wood with an axe is make sure that the axe is sharp and you're not hitting it on something that's going to damage the axe, like concrete or rock or anything like that, but you still want it solid enough, so not dirt either. Best thing would be a stump. I have been using this board of OSB that has been my kind of impromptu patio. So it seems to work out pretty well. My understanding, there are two different ways of splitting wood, standing up or laying down. I have never tried the laying down method, but the standing up method is pretty much what you usually see. Now, what you want to do is you want to make sure you have a good handle on it, and then lift it up over your head, and then come down, and make sure you actually hit the wood. Now, it's easy to do it with the grain. Some woods are easier than others, so we'll see how this goes. My aim's not that great. This wood seems to be a little bit more dense than usual. Most of the trees on my property are pine or poplar. I'm not too sure what this one was. Yeah, so when you miss and you glance it, it sends a chunk off into outer space. So, try that again. Alright, so this one's kind of split. There we go. And nice little split. I think this is actually hardwood, which is surprising. Not entirely sure exactly what it is, but it's got a nice red tint to the inside. See if I can split the bigger piece once more. Well, kinda. But, you know, pieces like this are good to start fires with. Right after the kindling. Now, I'm going to use this log to try the side method. I've never actually done it before. Here it goes. Not a fan. I don't know, I might be doing it wrong. But I'm not keen on that just because it seemed like it rolled a lot when I did it, but I think my base is a little bit too spongy for this. Where else I can put it? Let's try it here. Right on the support. Hope I don't hit my car. Much better. Now, like I said, my aim wasn't that good, so I didn't really hit the center of the log. Yeah, I think my base is too spongy. A heavier axe would probably help as well, and mine could use a sharpening. But anyways, that's how you split wood with an axe. Now, of course, you could buy a log splitter, and that would be worlds easier. But so yeah, so that's using a chainsaw to cut down a tree, how to chop it up, and splitting wood. Alright, I'm ADD Adventure, and y'all have a nice afternoon.